The original Smart fortwo was renowned for its go-kart-like handling, with a small turning circle rear engine, rear-wheel drive layout and ultra-short wheelbase. It darted around cities like a toy car that had escaped the living room. Nimble at low speeds and surprisingly pointy on a country road, it had character. Fast forward to 2023 and the arrival of the Smart #1 and the brand pivoted hard. Out went the toy car dynamics, in came comfort, space and crossover sensibilities. And now we have the Smart #5, based on Geely underpinnings and building on the success of the #1 and #3. This is an evolution, it's reinvention. It's nearly 2 meters longer than the old fortwo, 2 meters. And its design is so boxy and utilitarian that my youngest son thought it was a van. That suspicion only grew stronger when I loaded both kids' bikes into the boot without removing a wheel. Tonka toy? Absolutely. Microcar? Not anymore. Design-wise, it looks like a Jeep Renegade and Mercedes GLB had a child. If you like sleek coupe SUV silhouettes or blobby jellybean cars, you'll hate this, but at least it's different. I actually like the boldness, frameless doors, flush handles, oblong light signatures, that near vertical rear, very second-gen Renault Megane. And on some trims you even get floating wheel caps, very Rolls-Royce darling. Inside is where it really shifts the narrative. This feels, and I don't say this lightly, premium. Soft touch materials, well executed trim, robust build and curved design details. It all feels very Mercedes, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, the perceived quality here comfortably outshines equivalents from Skoda and VW. Space? Excellent. The square roofline and flat floor mean leg and headroom feel a class above. And every time I glance in that rearview mirror, I am astounded and delighted at the same time by how far away the kids seem. There are 34 cubbyholes, a generous illuminated front and a 630-litre boot. And all seats fold flat, turning this into a tent on wheels. Add the integrated cool box in the armrest and vehicle to load capability. Kettle on the tailgate, anyone? And you're basically adventure ready year round. I love the details, flip out glove box hooks, aircraft style LED reading lights and quirky plush shaped air vent controls. The kids love the big round eject button for the doors. I still prefer a handle and not having to explain to my passengers how to get out the car. They also loved it when they discovered that you can slide the passenger seat forwards and the rear seat backwards and pretend they're in a limo. Very Mercedes S-Class. Why? I have absolutely no idea, but apparently they found it hilarious to do it every single time they got in the car. Very annoying. Now, let's talk screens. On higher trims, you get a 13-inch passenger display added to what already looks like a digital command centre. Yes, it's a lot. And yes, it can reflect sunlight directly into your eyeballs. But once you learn the layout, it's slick, fast and genuinely well thought through. Let's break down how the system works. Open the drop-down menu and you can choose between 4 home screen themes: Planet, 3D car, wallpaper and navigation. In Planet mode, the background changes depending on your selected drive mode: Eco, Comfort or Sport. Shortcut cards sit on the desktop and you swipe horizontally through them to access key functions. It's very tablet-like and immediately familiar. Switch to wallpaper mode and the layout changes. A single finger swipe across the main background cycles through wallpapers, while medium-sized function cards sit along the bottom. Swipe through these to select features. It's layered but logically structured. At the top of the screen sits the smart bar, one of the better executed elements here. If media is playing in the background, it displays track information, but it also shows incoming calls, charging status, scenario modes, and even app download progress. Importantly, it's interactive. You can answer or reject calls, pause media, or deactivate certain functions directly from the bar. Tap it, and it expands into the full control interface. It's clean, efficient UX. Select the 3D car theme and the home screen becomes a rotatable 360-degree vehicle model. The graphic updates with drive mode changes and tapping different areas of the car triggers context-specific shortcuts. Navigation mode prioritises the map, placing real-time guidance front and centre. Swipe down to minimise the shortcut cards for a larger map view. Swipe up to restore them. You can also press and hold the bottom shortcut bar to customise it, adding or removing functions based on your preferences. On the multimedia side, there are a couple of neat touches. If you're playing video content, a 3-finger swipe transfers playback between screens. You can also open 2 separate video platforms simultaneously, one on the driver display and one on the passenger display, although only one stream can actively play at any given time. Overall, it's a feature-dense system with strong visual clarity and interactive design. If you like tech-led interiors, this will definitely resonate. The Smart Assistant, however, is not so smart.
How may I help you?
It's continuously listening to your conversation. And Leo the Lion, thankfully not activated by saying Leo, because that is also my son's name, which would mean it would interrupt us even more. One genuinely brilliant feature is the 360-degree camera with 9 selectable views. If parking isn't your strong suit, there's also automatic parking assist to do it for you, while you question yourself why you have a driving licence. Trim levels run from Pro, Pro Plus, Premium, Pulse, Summit Edition, and of course, the want it but don't need it Brabus. That one will hit 62 miles per hour from 0 in 3.8 seconds. It will also relieve you of nearly £52,000. Our entry-level Pro starts at $39,800 and is impressively equipped. Powered tailgate, heated memory seats, reclining rear seats, panoramic roof, dual zone climate. There's even a sensor that can detect when a dog or child is left in the car and will turn on the aircon or slightly lower window. Hopefully that's not going to be needed. Safety? 5 stars from Euro NCAP in 2025, scoring particularly well in child safety and adult protection. Every version comes with Smart Pilot Assist, a suite of intelligent driver assistance systems. Now, efficiency. Here's where things get less impressive. The Pro gets a 74.4 kilowatt-hour usable battery, officially good for 289 miles. In reality, I struggle to see more than 216 miles, averaging around 2.9 miles per kilowatt-hour. That's not class leading. And it seems a similar story with many owners and testers suggesting an average consumption of roughly 3 to 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. Charging is respectable. 800-volt architecture means DC charging up to 150 kilowatts for this model, taking 30 minutes to juice from 10 to 80%. AC charging takes around 8.5 hours. Step up to the Pro Plus for 43,800, and this is the one you'd pick for more range. With a larger 94 kilowatt hour usable battery, that gives you 367 miles claimed. That puts it only slightly behind a Tesla Model Y long-range rear-wheel drive, but it will charge at up to 400 kilowatts versus 250, meaning a 10 to 80% charge in just 18 minutes. That's properly quick, and it will cost you over £1,000 less. You'll also get a bit more poke. 267 kilowatts versus 250, dropping the 0 to 62 sprint from 6.9 to 6.5 seconds. If you want more, you'll need to pay out for the dual motor all-wheel drive Pulse or Summit Edition, and those models have 432 kilowatts. On the road though, our car feels brisk enough. It's broadly comparable to the rear-wheel drive Tesla Model Y and faster than the equivalent Genesis GV60, Skoda Enyaq and Renault Scenic models, although it could be argued that those last two do handle a little bit better. That said, ride comfort is excellent, and the passive suspension and near even weight distribution and relaxed steering make this a very easy family SUV to live with. It's quiet, it absorbs bumps and ruts well, it never feels floaty, grip levels are solid, but it's not a driver's car. The Tesla Model Y and MG S6 definitely feel a lot sharper. There's also a slight throttle delay, especially in eco or low regen modes that make smooth driving a little bit tricky. Before I sum up though, I feel like I can't go without mentioning the similarly priced Kia EV5 and Hyundai IONIQ 5, which are also on 800-volt architecture and are practical, proven family EVs with longer warranties. So where does that leave it? The Smart #5 is a complete departure from the brand's tiny car heritage, but if you judge it not as a smart, but as a mid-size electric SUV blending a German design influence and feel with Chinese hardware, it makes a lot of sense. It's spacious, well-equipped, it's comfortable, it's plush, it charges incredibly fast. If you want efficiency and razor-sharp handling, look elsewhere. The Smart #5 surprised me, and that perhaps is the biggest compliment I can give it.